Okay, hi there. Welcome to Electronic 2024 here in Munich. I am Eric Miskell with EMS Now. I have the pleasure of meeting and speaking with Marcus Hoffmann with the WeWrap Group. WeWrap is EMS. I'm not that familiar with them. Tell us who they are.
Of course, Eric. Thank you very much for having me today. So we at Verab, we're already existing more than 50 years, but for the last, let's say, 45 years, we mainly focused on the Swiss and on the German market, doing electronics and cabling. But since 3 years, we have new investors, new owners. We also established a new management recently. And since then, we are expanding also in Slovakia, in Serbia, and in Romania, doing electronics, cabling, and of course PCBA.
Okay.
And growing. Our key markets are the military sector, the med tech, and of course industrial applications.
Okay. Industrial is big, and well, medical too over here, right? So
Definitely.
and military is always good business. So business must be good. You know, military. The people who do military out here, that's the one sector that is consistently, unfortunately, maybe, but consistently been very good.
That's true, and in my opinion, somebody needs to do it because if nobody does it, then we would face problems. And indeed, the market is growing. So if I take a look at the figures right now, military is really the fact that 2024 will be a year of growth for Verab. We have double-digit growth in certain sectors, supporting big German companies like Rheinmetall, for example. We are allowed to mention them, but we're also working for Swiss companies like Armor Swiss. So we have deeply cooperations with them, and they are growing.
Good. So tell me, for most of the customers, is you have the electronics, you have the cable. Are you doing both for most customers?
Yeah.
Very intricate, and then the box build, final integration as well.
You know, this is something which we need to get better in the future. So in the past, we did cabling, we did PCBA and inductive goods, but since we have a new management and we are all experienced guys from EMS market, we very intensively try to force the vertical integration and also doing upselling. So customers who are recently producing PCBAs with us definitely will get a very good offer from us, also integrating cable capabilities in the inductive goods with us.
And other companies do this. So what do you think that you do the best? What is unique about WeWrap Group?
In my opinion, it's the technology because, you know, electronics, this is something a lot of companies in EMS can do very well. Cabling, already not so much anymore, but when I take a look at our inductive capabilities, this is, in my opinion, an underrated commodity. When I take a look at market research and on others, there is not so much available. But believe me, there is a market, and it's not so trivial as it looks like. So doing inductive goods, especially also for military applications, is key, not so easy, and we are very established with that. So I would say that is one of our USPs in our company.
That's good to hear. So tell me, and you've talked a little bit about it already, but you know, there's a lot happening in this industry, right? As you said, it sounds like you're going to have a good 24, but a lot of companies have been suffering. Everybody's waiting for when does the demand come back. How do they see that? How are you seeing the market trends?
To be honest, we all know there is two very big indicators why we are in the situation right now. One is, of course, the allocation, which we faced the last couple of years, which partially was, let's say, maybe not true, but it faced us very intensively. Second, of course, is the recession, which we very deeply see also in Europe right now. Both factors multiplied, giving us currently not such a good mood within the industry, but I strongly believe that we already see first indicators that stock levels at the customers go down. So they need to resource quite soon, in my opinion. And if I could predict it very clearly, I think I would do consulting business. But I personally think that in Q3 2025, a lot of us will be satisfied again, exclusive the guys who are deeply in automotive. So that's also a strategy from Verab. We do not do automotive business because we don't see a pure and a good growth strategy in Europe with that. Maybe I'm wrong, but at least this is our strategy.
And there's a lot of automotive being done by a lot of companies in Europe. So, you know, differentiating somehow by the sectors is always a good strategy.
Definitely,
Yeah.
And you know, this is exactly what we try to do with the three sectors I mentioned. So nowadays, it's very unpredictable. So 3 years ago, if you won a customer from heating pumps, you know, for renewable energy,
Yep.
everybody told you, hey, good job.
Yeah.
Nowadays, due to changing policies in the governments in Europe, it's not so good anymore. But how can we overcome that? In my opinion, only if we have a broad range of markets and we don't let single customers have too much influence on our revenue figures. So if you can have a very healthy mix on that, let's say 3 or 4 markets, no customer bigger than 10, 15, 20%, I think we are good.
Yeah, that's an important consideration. I've heard stories since I've been here for the last few weeks of some companies who have suffered because they're, let's say, over 50% with one customer, and that is so risky. And when they said stop, all of a sudden the business, and they have to redo that. So
Yep.
the strategy is purposefully to keep it below 10% customers.
That's the strategy we have. And of course, if one customer is growing, it's the big task of our sourcing, our BD and business development department to try to bring in new business as well.
Yeah.
So I can understand EMS companies who are so reliable on 1 or 2 customers, because if you grow, that's a good thing. But in the same moment, we believe you need to grow in other sectors as well. Only that makes you very successful.
No, exactly right. Now, and I forgot to ask at the beginning. Now, you joined WeWrap this year.
Yes.
Explain your role and your area of responsibility.
Yeah. So I'm very happy that I did that move. I did this together with some old friends from the EMS business before. So we worked for another big company before. Now we rejoined in WeWrap. My responsibilities are currently really to grow organically, but we are also very interested in growing unorganically. So M&As or other kind of acquisitions is something which we are very open to. And beside that, we need to shape the capabilities of our group under one rooftop. So as I mentioned before, so we are good in electronics, in cabling, inductive. Now we need to bring the team together and we need to sell it as one big group, creating more diversification and more capabilities for our customers.
Okay, very good. Well, I'm excited to keep seeing what happens in the future with you. Now, I had heard of him, I didn't know him, so I appreciate the opportunity to get to know a little bit more about you and how you differentiate. It sounds like a good strategy, so I wish you nothing but success, and hopefully we talk again in the future.
We hope so as well. And Eric, you're always welcome to visit one of our sites. Hope to see you soon again.
Absolutely. Marcus,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.